Thanks for tuning in to the Ohio University Sustainability Series podcast. This is Olivia Wolf from the Office of Sustainability. This week's podcast is an interview with Dr. Kim Thompson from the Plant Biology Department. This is the first podcast in October, so we'll begin covering our new topic, grounds, for the month by discussing green infrastructure across campus.
Hi, my name is Daniela Grijalva, and I'm here with Megan Westervelt. We're two sustainability ambassadors here at Ohio University. And this week, we had the great honor of interviewing Kim Thompson to talk about the new green roof here at Ohio.
So the topic of the month of October is grounds, and so you might be wondering, why are we going on the roof to talk about grounds? But it's a part of our natural wildlife on campus now. We have several green roofs on campus, and so we do think of that as grounds. Some of us are out there working in those plant beds, and we'll be maintaining those plant beds and putting them to bed for the winter and watching them wake up in the spring. So it is definitely a part of our natural landscape on campus now. And hopefully we'll have more of our grounds being covered with native plant areas and green roofs. That's all a really critical piece of Ohio University and what attracts people to this area, to this college, to this campus. I'm Kim Thompson, and I'm an associate professor of instruction in the Department of Environmental and Plant Biology in the College of Arts and Sciences. And I am also a Sustainable Living Hub coordinator in the Office of Sustainability. And I'm really excited about plants, as you can tell, because I'm in a plant biology department. And so I had this idea about putting a green roof on campus, and I collected some other people who might want to be a part of that. And they were really excited as well. So we have this nice, diverse, interdisciplinary group of faculty who have got this project started. And then, of course, a lot of other people have helped out, including administrators like Shauna Bolin, University Planner, and Brad Cohen, Office of Instructional Innovation. And a lot of students have gotten engaged as well and helped with the project.
What is green infrastructure?
Green infrastructure is a term that describes a stormwater management system. So green infrastructure would include things like rain barrels and rain gardens or bioswales, permeable pavement so that water will move through pavement instead of across pavement. And green roofs are a big piece of that.
What kinds of green infrastructure sites do we have here at Ohio?
There are a number of green infrastructure sites on campus already. There are actually 3 green roofs. McCracken, Jeff Hall has one. Edwards Accelerator Lab has one. And this is anything that's over a roof or a tunnel is considered a green roof. So you might not recognize the one outside Jeff Hall as a green roof, but it is. And then Schoonover's the 4th. So there are also a couple of rain gardens over on the ridges, and those are green infrastructure sites.
Where and how could we include green infrastructure within our university? What would be the benefits?
I think we can do more on campus. I think we should be thinking about green roofs on any new building that goes in. That could be something that we decide as a community that we want to ensure that happens. We can put green roofs over other structures like a bike rack. So I'd love to see green roofs over bike racks, and you can imagine that is going to provide more green space, which is always good, but it also will protect the bikes from rain and snow and sun. So I can imagine that would make people more excited about getting in their bike and not worrying that it's going to rain during the day and their bike will be all wet before they leave. Another place where we could put green roofs are over bus stops. And I've actually talked to our university planner about this, and she thinks that would be a great idea. So that's something we can think about for the future in cooperation with the city.
What are the benefits of green roofs specifically?
Green roofs offer a lot of environmental benefits, and so the first piece is that this would be a really good piece that would contribute to our sustainability mission, because it is a plant community, so it sequesters carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps mitigate climate change. It reduces the energy needs of a building. It insulates in the wintertime and cools the building in the summertime. So that reduces energy usage, which in turn reduces greenhouse gas emissions. It is really key to reducing stormwater runoff. So it helps with stormwater management. and that means there would be less flooding in the area. So these are all really important environmental reasons for having a green roof and many green roofs on campus.
How will initiatives like these benefit Ohio University students?
I think this is really going to benefit our students in a number of ways. One very immediate way is for people who are in the School of Media Arts and Studies where they can see the rooftop now have the advantage of seeing beautiful plants. The flowers look gorgeous there. Before the plants were there, it was a white rooftop that was very glaring. So for the students and the faculty in those spaces, it's a really nice cultural benefit. Anytime we see plants really help us with concentration and mood and our health in general. So green roofs are just another place to put plants. And if you can get out in the green roof or see the green roof, that would help anybody who sees it. Another way that green roofs will benefit our students is by the educational opportunities that are going to be afforded by this project. Even before the rooftop was planted, we had students who wanted to get involved in the project. And so some students, for example, wanted to do literature reviews to try to help us understand what plants would be best on the rooftop. So that was really exciting to already get interest before we'd planted it. We had engineering students who were building models that could be used at schools and in STEM events, and that actually became part of our grant to build models that we would donate to local schools to help them engage students in science and learn about green roofs.
How can students get involved academically in the Green Roof Initiative at Ohio?
Right now we have about almost 20 students who are on research restarts, and this is important right now with the university being very careful about safety on campus with COVID. So students have to go through a process in order to be approved to be able to conduct research. They're not all research projects. We have arts projects as well, like a video tour that's being done, an educational display that's being developed, photojournalism essays, those kinds of things. And then we have some research on arthropod diversity, the microbial diversity of the rooftop compared to other rooftops around here, plant biodiversity, water, what is the runoff and what is the quality of the water like, and air quality. We're collecting data on that. I don't have a student working on that right now, so that's an opportunity for someone to come in and get involved.
How does green infrastructure help the larger Ohio community in the long run?
Some of the strategies in the sustainability mission include education of students, and this is one way that this project really helps us to accomplish that. Green infrastructure would help us reduce greenhouse gases, which is part of our sustainability mission to go carbon neutral by, I think it's 2030 now, it was 2050. And we do that by reducing the amount of energy that's used in the building when you have a green roof that either insulates or cools it depending on the season. So it helps us achieve those particular strategies and maybe others as well.
How do green roofs fit into the overall mission of sustainability?
One of the key features of sustainability is to have something that lasts in perpetuity, that we can replace it without waste. And so green roofs help us achieve that by reducing the amount of waste from rooftop buildings. Because UV damage is less on a green roof, the UV is not hitting the rooftop, it can extend the lifespan of a roof for as much as double. So that's a really important way to achieve our sustainability mission.
That sounds amazing. Why not build a green roof everywhere?
Now you might ask, why don't we just put green roofs everywhere? And that's a great question. Some cities are actually requiring that green roofs be put on every new building. New York just did this recently. We have to think about the structural capacity of each rooftop. So when we were seeking rooftops on campus that would be appropriate for a green roof, we needed to consider what the weight limitations were. A rooftop is meant to hold a certain amount of weight, and usually that doesn't include saturated soil. So that can add quite a bit of weight. We have to consider saturated soil as that weight possibility, because if you put plants on a rooftop and there's a lot of rain, that soil is going to become saturated. So that's the maximum. And that's why you can't put a green roof anywhere on campus. It has to have the right kind of structure for that. Schoonover green roof was actually built to hold a green roof. So it was designed with that in mind. And when we learned that, that made it the ideal choice to get it planted. Funding had run out and they weren't able to finish the installation, so we were able to get outside funding, not from the university, in order to get that installation completed.
Tell us more about how this project started and its development.
The Schoonover rooftop was designed and finished in 2013 as just a plain rooftop. Our group started working on this in late 2017, early 2018. We received a grant to start thinking about where we could have the green roof, and then we identified Schoonover, started working with Scripps College, and the rooftop was just installed in July 2020. It was originally supposed to be planted in March, and because of COVID and closures, we weren't able to have it finished until July. And that led to a different suite of plants that were seeded because it was a very hot summer instead of spring. So that led to a few changes, but it's worked out really well. It looks beautiful now. I think it's a very engaging project, and that's why it's brought together people from around the university. Another effort that we have is to survey students and faculty and administrators on campus to ascertain understanding of green roofs and green infrastructure. So I'm working with a psychology colleague and a graduate student to develop that survey and do the analysis to find out what students know and how will that change after the green roof has been utilized.
How is this green roof accessible to students and community members who might not be in Athens or who might not be able to get to the space right now?
So some of the ways that we're making this rooftop accessible to students and the community are through a streaming camera that's going to be available on YouTube, so people can visit the rooftop virtually. And we are going to have a virtual tour so students can see what's happening on the rooftop, so they really can learn a lot from seeing the space. Students and others benefit from having green spaces in their life, and it's a very tangible product. And I think students can relate to that a little bit better. When they think about sustainability, that seems very broad and not easily understood necessarily, but this is something that they can see. Here's a beautiful rooftop. This is easy. Why not do this? This has so many great benefits and it looks nice.
How can faculty, staff, students, and community members get involved in this amazing project or in other green infrastructure initiatives around Ohio University?
Faculty and students have already gotten involved and can continue to get involved. One good way would be to visit our new website, and that we're building right now, but has flyers available. So we are creating 7 different flyers that can be used in the classroom, and that could be, students could also visit that, but if teachers want to introduce their students to green roofs, that might be a good way to get started. So visit the website and find the flyers that we have posted there. We also are going to have a variety of descriptions of projects. So the projects that we have for engineering and communications and research are going to have some information and photos. So students and faculty can check that out. And then if they have an idea for a different project or want to get involved in one of the existing projects, they can reach out to us and find out how they can get involved. Another way that students can get involved is by joining the Green Initiative, which is a student-led organization that is devoted to promoting green infrastructure. They started around the Green Roof Project, but they decided as a group, we really want to promote green infrastructure across the campus and in the community. So they're interested in policy and advocacy, media, outreach to the community, and research. If you're a community member and want to get involved, we would love to have students or others come out and talk to your group about the project, to talk about green infrastructure. If you're a school, we would come out and have activities for students. We have little models that we can bring. Some schools are already getting the large models that the engineers designed. And we also have lesson plans that have been developed by the Patton College of Education students to supplement those models. So there's something for everybody. If anyone wants to get involved, I hope they'll check our website and reach out to me or others and find out what we can do to help you learn about green infrastructure and get involved. Schoonover Green Roof is the name of the website, so you can access it through the Office of Sustainability. Another way for students to get involved is to visit Twitter and Instagram for the Green Initiative. For Twitter, it's at OU Green Team. For Instagram, it is Green Initiative OU.
Thank you so much to Kim Thompson. We will see you next week for another episode of the Sustainability Series podcasts.
Thanks for tuning in to another Ohio University Sustainability Series podcast. Join us again next Thursday for a history and overview about hydraulic fracturing. Have a great weekend.